Part 2, talking recycling on ScrAp TV. This is deSz'e. Part 2. The buttons on my device, the Moto device, is different from LG and Samsung and Alcatel. It's different. It's different. That's why I like it. It just makes me think the buttons on a different array for the Android on it. So I might press something wrong on this too. Now that I'm on this, I was pressing wrong stuff on the mute in the video, but now I'm doing it on this because the button's in a different way or construed. So what I was saying on recycling, thought recycling, is that I heard my niece say, "Oh, you did that? You did all that? And what's the deal?" And that's me pulling a tab. You did that because that guy was gonna cuss, wasn't he? I was like, yeah. I don't want to get no issue and stuff on this thing. Kind of took me back because I haven't listened to that. When I opened that package of that CD, I hadn't listened to that music in a while. And that was made 20 years ago. Maybe 25 years ago. But, so yeah, I had to cover up the more stranger parts, even if he wasn't saying nothing with curses. Curse words expressing himself. The words he was choosing was trigger hitting you in the neck, in your body, in your chest, your brain. You'd be like, how could somebody say something like that? It must be really, really lyrical or really hurt. They went through some things. You can feel it in the conviction of their voice. And where you like, yeah, and you studying the rhyme as you listen to it, you might not heard it for the very first time. But these guys are going hard at it. Even the guy that's mellow is more street style. Spitting bars that make you feel like they spit in your mind. They spitting logic into your mind. They're sticking this into your into your brain, into your psyche. So yeah, recycled thoughts. I get to think about that, And that's what I want my music to be. That's what I want my business to be. What I want my cooking to be. When you eat my food, I want you to feel good about it, man. When you hear my music, I want you to be like, when you see me recycling, I want you to go like, same, the equal distance is there. I want the same thing in my life to be, measured right. I want my vibe to be felt equally. Not equally. But amongst those three categories, I want it to be dynamic and audible and taste worthy and duty worthy. And I'm doing a duty, I'm doing a job, not only for me, but I'm helping the environment to look better, or removing something from a company that might not need to be there no more. It might be an eyesore, or it might be something that some grass could be in that area. It's all kind of ways to look at it. So there we are, ScrAp TV. We're talking about recycling. That's what we do on this particular setup. And we do some food cooking, and we do some music. Keyboards, you see me playing the keys, playing another instrument, shakers and all that. I'm into all that because I'm into textures and such. I want my stuff to sound right, man. You know, I listen to other people's stuff from the older days, and I wonder, how did they get to sound like that? Man, that's heavy, but it wasn't heavy. The only fact is that they were actually into their craft. They knew how to play their stuff, knew how to get that feeling across. Or maybe the engineer did. You know, you give props to Phil Spector. No matter how crazy you look at Phil Spector, producer, engineer, the audio rearranger, when he put that wall of sound up, that's some serious stuff, man. That's a serious style of recording and re-recording, so you can see it, the image, when you hear it in left and right speakers. Subs, 7.1 to 12. All these different 5.1 surround systems and such. I thought that was the future. But we still got mono, we still got stereo. Most of your live shows, excuse me on that, most of the live shows will have a mono setup, so everybody gets the same mix. Very few have stereo or quad mixes. I think it would be good to have quad though. That's me. Quad was coming out at the latter part of 70s. Quad was your earlier version of a surround sound style. It was in the movies having THX and Dolby Surround. But as for DJs, that quad would give you that extra reinforcement. So people, your desired audience is getting the main thump of the music, and it's coming to them. And they're feeling, so everybody feels the same thing. That's why most audio live shows, when you're in person in the crowd, they're gonna be mono. Might be stereo for the podcast or stream, but it could be a stereo stream, and that's cool. But if you're at a live show, a live auditorium style thing, the sound needs to be mono, so everybody hears what everybody's hearing. Everybody hears what the left side of the crowd is listening to. Right side, you might have the attenuators and other baffles and stuff to make sure the echo is not too much and the sound is not reverberating off of the wall. You need to have the right acoustics. Ooh, these shoes tight. You want people to have a good experience. That's real. So that's why you see a lot of churches and a lot of spiritual ministries have their drums set up. Here we go. Have their drums set up behind plexiglass wall. They'll say trapping the sound. And that's like, 3 or 4 panels, maybe 5 panels, where it's a whole enclosed cage with a top on it. So the drummer can do his thing, and he has his monitors in his ear, and the drums be mixed by the engineer. So it's not too incredible for the audience. Because drums can be very loud, depending on you got a large congregation or small or medium congregation. You still want to have control over those loud drums and saxophones and horns like that, trumpets. You can go, lower volume, but eventually that saxophone's gonna let it belt out. That's what you like, that saxophone. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You wanna, you want it to actually hit you in these registers when it's horns. Keys maybe different. So yeah, definitely just talking recycling today. Just talking recycling. It seems like as recycling was becoming relevant to people, it was also an aid. That's how relevant, that's how it made itself relevant, is that it was an aid to the environment we live in, because we had bottles and cans that need to be returned and could be remade into more things, or more cans and bottles. But they gave you something for it, and they kept money in your pocket. Even if you didn't have no money, you could go get some cans and bottles and newspaper. And it wasn't so bad. Back then, a hamburger cost 35 cents with cheese, 25 cents regular. There you go, another idea. Bring that back. Even the 50 cent Whoppers, burger, the king of burgers. They used to do that once a year. They would always, like 7-Eleven, still do the Slurpee thing. That's a free Slurpee though. But I'm talking about buying stuff. But let one of these hamburger places sell hamburgers. You gotta be, some people be feeling suspect. 25 cent hamburgers, 35 cent cheeseburgers, 20 cent french fries, 15 cent french fries, 8 cents for a drink. It was wild, man. It was a different time, man. But all that stuff added to something, and it added to the economy. It added to the social climate at that time. And it wasn't publicized or broadcast too much. It helped some people out of some bad situations. And there was always that story that somebody bought a car by picking up my recycling cans. That's a lot of cans. But it wasn't a lot of money for a car then. You could get a car for $200 used. Sometimes new for like $600. With a payment plan, which was gonna cost you even more money. And by the time you get through paying that, you could have bought 2 cars. Interest and all. Yeah, so back in the day, recycling was the way. So yeah, and I just let you know that we're at the end of this particular program. I got to get ready for the truck coming. And the truck is a definite thing that needs to be done. If it doesn't come, I'd be ready for the next day or the next day. I got another truck coming. So I got 2 trucks, and I wouldn't mind having 2 trucks coming at the same time. But that is a mental thing, and everything has to be planned out. And I've done it by myself a couple times. One was almost a tragedy. One of them went flawless, and one was kind of questioning. But with other workers or whatever, we've taken multiple trucks. And I could take multiple trucks, like 3 trucks. I could take 3, 4 trucks, as long as they're bringing workers. If they're bringing workers to the game to help me put it in my warehouse, or help me take it off the truck. That was a task for a while, especially if it was a regular truck or flatbed truck or whatever, roll off. So yeah, we count this down. I did it again, came back on your butt with recycling. I got 2 parts to this live. Check them out, listen to it. Just give me a listen, I appreciate it. I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just telling you, hey man, things were different back then, man. And I'm not saying they were better. Some things were better. Some things made sense. Wasn't a lot of homeless people back then. Wasn't a lot of unwanted pregnancies back then. That was looked on as shameful. So it's a different set of rules. Yeah, we progressed, but we also recessed too, and digressed. And I can dissect it now. I can see it now more than ever. Being part of adulthood and seeing what has become of what was then, I thought that was it was all right. I just didn't know that the bottle exchange and the paper exchange and the can recycling, the metal recycling, all that stuff was a side situation, and it could help you in the times were hard. So I can't knock it. I went into it for myself to really learn a lot. This is interesting to me. A lot of stuff is interesting. I've never opened up this or opened up that or this, that, and the other. And I learned it, or I watched somebody else do something. But it's not a dull day, ever. It's never a dull day around here. It's never a dull day when I'm out picking up stuff, meeting people, servicing the people. There you go. It's all about service, baby. If you ain't gonna do no service, you ain't gonna be in business too long. Point blank, I appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate this interaction. Been nice. Get ready for the day. The day was already ready for me. We just gonna move about in this day and make it right. Gonna make it tight, gonna make it right. So this is DeSz'e talking recycling on ScrAp TV. Count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see my girl is on, so I'm gonna switch over there and we'll say the bonus. We already included it in there. So you see what it is. Look at that boy hair. That boy still got a little of the hair there, boy. Bring that forward. I had to recess too long. Anyway, we had a good one. Bam. Back in your face. This is a dope jam. Yeah. When we on Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy. We did it. Check us out. 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the evening. Central Standard Time. Yeah. deSz'e's here, man. I did it. I'll talk to y'all in a minute. ScrAp TV. Out.